Breaker 19. This here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, big fan? Come on. Yeah, 10-4, big fan.
Yep, here live with your wake-up call. Don't you know, y'all? Grandpa Coyote, man. Yeah, the new kid in town and then something, man. I'll tell you what, there is a new kid in town, and the style in this here town is changing around, let me tell you, baby. It's rock, and it's roll, and it's love, don't you know, in motion, babies. The hot chick arises from the mountain and gets in her car and takes off at 18,000 and becomes a star and hangs out up there for just a little while shining. Wants to hear all you guys and how you're all down here whining, you know, crying your little eyes out, breaking your little heart, saying, good gosh almighty, why didn't I ever get a real start? Oh, but she radiates her love and says, look at me, babies, I'm a star like you. Can't you be the star too, man? Can't you be the rock star alive? Can't you be the rock star alive? Can't you be the one everybody wants to chase around with and just have a great time? Can't you be the light alive? You know, I mean, can't you just be on fire? Why not, babies? You know, get yourself a Miata. You'll feel a lot better about life, man, let me tell you. Especially if you get one like she's got, man. Holy moly. That one do haul asterisk, man. I mean, she's at the head of the pack when it comes to the convoy of love, man. She's our, you know, guiding light, our shining star at the beginning, the leader of the pack, and then some. Man, she gives us all a love attack, man. Ooh, yeah, we're confident now, man. There, you know, we got the wheel, we got the gear. We're going into high gear now, man. Breaker 19, clear the highway ahead, baby. 'Cause here comes the mighty convoy of love, man, babies. And we are hauling bonkers, babies. You betcha. 110 plus, babies. And we're just hitting high gear, you know. Pretty soon we'll be like a Miata, man. We'll be going 18,000 plus down this highway of life, and we'll have. Oh, thank you, baby. Oh, I love you. And we'll have it. Oh, that just so upsets my whole equilibrium when some chick does that and just whistles at me out of nowhere like that. Wow, I tell you, you know, flattery will get you everywhere with this old man. Totally scatter me too, you know. Oh, I tell you, when the hot chick pays her attention to you, you pay attention back, don't you see? She shines them loving little eyes on you, says, ooh, looky there. There's a prime little specimen of, you know, humanity. Let's see what we can do with that one, man. You know, flick, flick, flick. Sometimes she'll tickle you under the chin, right under the whiskers, and make you feel really good about yourself, you know. That's when you know you're truthfully loved, when the hot chick walks up to you. I mean, it walks up to you with her eyes ablaze, you know, with that fiery love, you know. Ooh, but it's all coming out soft blue today, man. Ooh, it just feels so good all over, you know. And she walks up and just tickles you under the little chin and says, my, ain't you looking cute today, baby? And then she turns and be on her way, and you just melt to the gosh blessed floor, man. I'm telling you, you know, you couldn't take any more. I'm telling you, man, that's like, wow. Nirvana, man. Talk about the orgasmic experience that creates life. I think it just happened right there. When the hot chick of love tickles you under the chin whiskers, well, baby, you know you're living right, man. You know you're doing just fine. Well, babies, may the hot chick come and tickle your little chin whiskers too, man, because I think we all deserve it, don't you? You betcha. You know, well, I mean, it can be the hot dude too, but you know, whatever your personification is, don't be boring, okay? There is no refinement. Just do what you do, okay? And do it cool. That's all you gotta do. Just be cool, man, you know, and let love take you where it will, you know. There's a very real thing here that we haven't found until now. We haven't discovered until now. A very real thing, a very real power, a very real feeling that takes you into that power. And it's not a powerful feeling. It's a soft, creative feeling, you know. It's the softening of the heart, you know. Oh, and you got to let MJ help you along the way, man. Don't forget 420, man, the universal smoking. We bring forward the love of life. We're going to change the vision here, man. Everybody gets a toke on 420. this year, man, we're going to do more than legitimize Mary Jane. We're going to legitimize life on 420, man. It's going to be okay to be real and be loving. Because it is now already, man. Right there inside of you. You just let it be, man. Let the others do what they do. You know, just be who you are. Be real in yourself, and you'll find the life becoming more real around you, you know. And it ain't that it won't be without some difficulties and hassles, but you'll find a whole new approach through the difficulties and hassles as you release yourself to live in the heart's way, the heart's realm, that which is real, simple, and pure, flowing through you that creates the reality around you in which you live and all the situations therein. I know it's confusing sometimes. It seems like it's so random and you just get battered and, you know, things come your way when you don't really anticipate what they should be and so on, you know. All of these strange moments seem to hit us, you know, like hard waves, you know, going sideways or something, you know, just sends you reeling sometimes. But sooner or later you get the feeling again, you get back up on your feet and you get trucking. You've done this again and again, man. This lifetime has kicked us around so much, it's unreal, man. But we just remember that life is a party. That we're here to play and be, you know, happy and you know, gay if you want, you know. But happy is the thing, man. Yeah, you know, just let yourself glitter and glow. Let that fire of love come forward. Let yourself realize the real power in life, the real creative power, and how we are indeed creating these situations for ourselves, and how we are indeed learning to love our way through them, you know, to be more creative in our life. We don't like a situation. Well, where do you go to change it? Do you confront somebody? I don't think so. You know, maybe in some situations that might be appropriate, but mostly not. I would think you'd just like retire to your boudoir or wherever you happen to find, you know, some comfort in nature, and you'd get yourself in a good state and you'd redream it. You'd just say, I don't want it this way. I want to change it, man. I want everybody in the same boat. I don't want us pulling against each other anymore. I want something different, man. You know, let this heart of mine unify the love inside so that when I go out there with the tribe, we're unified the same way. You know, and that's the way we should always play, wouldn't you say? Hey, hey, hey. So says Grandpa here on this Coyote Medicine Show, in that coyote way. Yes, indeed. In the way that only this coyote can. Oh, goodness gracious. That's what we're doing here today, man. We got the mighty convoy of love, breaker 19. Come on back to this old teddy bear. Get here in this rocking chair and let's haul bonkers down this highway alive, man. I'll give you some room to slide right there in front of me or behind me, as the case may be. And wowee, babies, we are the starling darlings of the ever-loving life of living truth, man. Hauling brightly our little bonkers down this old highway of life, baby. Ooh, and everybody, man, is feeling the wind wave from this one, man. Ooh, there's radiant love spreading out from this highway of life, and behind us is total transformation, man. Yeah. As everything you see is what you be, and everything we be is what we see, and therefore we do it even more creatively, because we learn to flow in high gear, baby, don't you know? Pedal to the floor, pedal to the metal, and babies, we is hauling bunkers. I mean, you know, 110, and then we just don't even look back. We just keep driving forward, man. And we is there. We is in the flow. Every one of us, man. Total synchronization in this convoy of love, man. I'm telling you, we're getting it on. Hey, I do apologize for them signal interruptions there a few moments ago. If you're having trouble hearing me, man, refresh your page and I'll be right there, babies. You know, don't let us get lost just because these yahoos play with our signal, man. We're working on changing that. I think next week we'll have some new service where they don't interrupt us in the morning. Hopefully. We'll see. We're so far out in the boondocks, we're blessed to have anything, don't you see, man? Spaceship love, 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky, babies. Yeah. Radiating love from this high old perch, man. The pinnacles of love, man. You know, it's amazing that the good old DSA fiber optic cables reach out this way, but they do, babies, and here we are. Radiating love all over this earth and all through this internet, because wow, It's an amazing feat. Can sit here in this Studio One in Spaceship Love and radiate it to you down there in South Africa, Central Asia, Oklahoma, California, Arizona. I mean, we even get into Mexico and Guatemala and, Costa Rica and Colombia and Argentina and all those places. We get everywhere, baby. All over the earth, the radiant signal of love, broadcasting on high from this 9,000-foot spaceship, you betcha, perched on the mountainside, ready for takeoff. How about you? You ready? Well, here's to that, babies. I'm saluting you with my official Mary Jane mug. Oh, yeah. Gateway to paradise, she said. And boy, that's a paradise I want to be in. And in keeping with tradition, man, and speaking of paradise, let's have a little talk on some homegrown sacred herb with Grandpa here in the legal region of legitimized Mary Jane. Yes, indeed. The wonderful state of Colorado, man. Let's talk about a Rocky Mountain High. This is where we unravel those wings and fly. Watch, guys. Oh, that is so righteously sweet. It does bring you right to your feet, man. Just makes your heart go boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I love you, love you, love you. Spread, spread, spread. Better to be living than it is to be dead. And we know the feeling of dead. That's when you go numb inside. That's when you got no feelings, when your heart is kind of heavy and you just can't stand it, so you just go numb. You know what I mean? A lot of people live there, man. A lot of us have been in that state. That's what I call the living dead. The zombieized person, man, because you just go through the motions, follow some kind of program or machinery inside, and you just don't feel, It's kind of an amazing experience when you begin to notice feelings, and then begin to feel them again, It's really incredible. That's why some people have chosen to live in such dark places, because when they come out of it, it's such an amazing thing. It's such a deepening, broadening of feeling, just because you so humbly appreciate being able to be re-empowered in the heart, Having been away from it, having, had the shit kicked out of you more than a time or two, babies, you learn to ride it a whole lot better. You learn to be it a whole lot better. And boy, when it comes to you, after you've been getting better at it, and finally you open up, finally that day comes where, wow, we're back to life, man, We're feeling again. We're flowing in those feelings. We're growing in those feelings. And we actually notice there is a heart, and it does feel deeply. And profoundly. And it's through that feeling that the profundity of creation happens around us, I mean, that's what we recognize as we start to get in this flow, Little MJ help you along the way, you bet. But it's not a requirement. If it's illegal where you are, well, fruit. Join us on 420. Let's legitimize MJ. Help everybody get underway. We want to legitimize life. We want to legitimize the ability for all hearts to see the true love in this reality and to be that true love. To be in complete synchronization with one another. I mean, it's such a completely different state of being, you can hardly imagine it now, yet you do feel it. You do see it. So we're creating it. It's happening, babies, We're coming back to life. We're coming back to feeling. We're coming back to what I would call awakenedness, awareness. The knowing place that we've always been, from which we played in these dumbed-down roles through those projections we call stars. The sons of life. S-U-N-S, sons of life. All of this. You see those stars in the sky, in the nighttime sky? Well, before they're shined out by the bright guide, which is all the stars put together in one sun, which is inside the earth too, don't you know? And inside of you, me too, man, and all of this creation around us, you see. It's the unity of sun and earth that creates feeling, life in motion, humanity, and all of the other animals and birds and trees and plants and so forth, rocks and sands and all of the good stuff in this life that hangs out with us here in Bee's life along with us, And as you begin to soften up and recognize that glow inside, you start to see that glow outside too, man. You see it everywhere. And you start to feel like you're living in a creative field that's totally in your favor, that all of these plants, animals, birds, trees, sands, rocks, dirts, and so forth, the little crawly worms, everything is rooting for you, is pushing in your direction. Everything is flowing in the direction of love. There's kind of an excitement in it, not a glittery tittery kind of thing, but a wow kind of moment going on as you realize the impact of your heart on the rest of humanity, let alone that little sphere of influence in which you live. You start to see that interconnectivity because you feel it. And you understand that we live in the same heart and that we're doing this together whether we like it or not, no matter how much we try to hide things from each other or share them with each other or anything in between. It's all there. It's all visible. Nothing's hidden. Nothing remains hidden. When you soften up your heart and begin to see, but what do you see? You see innocently. And therefore the truth is not so impacting as it once might have been when you didn't realize what truth really was, and it would have bowled you over. Some of the government dweebs were right to hold back some information from you because you just couldn't take it at that time. You sure as hell can now, and there's no reason to hide anything. But see, we don't worry about all that stuff, all that chicanery and all that money, trillions of dollars, man. It's unfathomable what's been done here. There's a whole different world, living about a third of humanity, is it? I don't know if it's that big yet, but it's pretty large, maybe a quarter, that's really spun off and lives in a whole different secret way that's hidden from the rest of us, And babies, they've had some real devious plans to, really rule the world with a dense, mean, disintegratous kind of thing where no one can be trusted and everything is guided and directed, that you don't do anything that isn't in the control of the masters, more or less. That's kind of the world that some beings were thinking they were creating here, not realizing that in their mastership they were the same as the slave. The equity exists. You see, so now the slave rises up to the master and says, "Hi, I like your representation of me, but I think it could sure be a whole lot kinder, don't you?" That's what's happening right now, babies, right there inside of you and in this earth reality, too, all over the place. The slaves, us, who have been just working our way through it, have risen up to those who pretend to control everything and portend to want to be in complete control of everything, not realizing that they already are. When you live life from the heart, you don't have to design such things into being because they already exist. You're more than interconnected with all life. You are all life living. You feel it. You can look your eyes in any direction and you feel it. You receive of it. It's you glowing back at you. It's the love of life that made you what you are. It's the humbling thing. The love. You feel it pure now. You accept it. You receive it. You are that love. You remember the nurturing mother heart that you stepped away from so long ago and thought to not feel anymore. But here you are back now, even in the score, because the score was always even, don't you see? There is no slave or master in this reality. There's just those who live, those who be. That's why we're called beings, because we be. We are. We am. We exist because we are. We are because we feel. And because we feel our way into all of this creation. And in this way do we regenerate the reality around us. By allowing ourselves to feel, by allowing ourselves to flow into that space where true love does exist, the powerful kind that's in everything, that does indeed have complete control through the divine intelligence of all life living. And that's when you begin to see that it flows with you, not again you, that you're a particle in the river of life, man. And that this river all flows in the same direction no matter what current or eddy you're playing around in, or how deep or how high you are in the water. Doesn't matter. Whatever your position is in the river, you're flowing with the river. And all of life is flowing into the ocean of love and creating the cycle of life in which we live. You know, the purity rises up out of the ocean, purifies itself in the atmosphere of sun and sky, arises on the earth again, or drops down in little raindrops or frozen little snowdrops or something like that, and regenerates the earth in the process, cleanses her up and feeds her and waters her and takes care of her, man, and then, you know, just continues on in that grand flow of life to the ocean of love like we've been doing forever, you know. Only we weren't really conscious of it. We've been so asleep, so undivine, so unaware, yet in our own way consciously creating the reality in which we live. Doesn't mean you think it into being. It means you experience it into being. There's quite a difference. You see, the mind intellectually can never understand this or figure it out. But the heart in motion does it all the time. So realization is just coming into that heart realm, just allowing yourself to feel. That's what makes it real, when you feel. Now you know what it's like to join a convoy of love, don't you? Mighty little convoy, hauling ass down the highway of life. Yes, we might as well say it. The donkey gets acknowledgement, man. Because when we're going really, really fast, we call it hauling ass. I don't know why, because donkeys aren't very fast. But that's what we do here in this human stew. Oh, but there's equity in all our equations, no matter how you figure them. They all lead to the same conclusion, the same life, the same love at the center of everything. That's you, me too, and all the rest of us dancing around in the sky and the earth and having a great time.